but we both knew. We got up early that morning to head home, so we're packing up tent and camping silently to dismantle our tent. And in the low morning light, rising from a campsite that I couldn't identify, was this song. Here I am on the road again. I had chills because I knew that the universe had helped me to make the decision that I was lamenting over. And I want you to know, even though that was a little bittersweet, when these songs pop up, it's not always sad. I've heard it prior to some of the best moments in my life too. But what I know for sure is that it is an indicator that my life is going to shift once more. And that shift that I'm embarking on is a divine shift. So I want you to pay attention to those songs, guys, because so often the lyrics are spot on to what divinity would want you to remember. The fourth sign of synchronicity, or the fourth signal, is what I call the interruption synchronicity, or the interruption signal. These are probably the least fun for our human selves, okay? These occur when you are going full speed ahead in your life and you're not looking after your mind or your body. Unfortunately, this synchronicity is abrupt, and it comes when you are stuck in a rut or a situation that doesn't serve you. It comes when you are stuck in a relationship that doesn't deserve you or isn't worthy of you. You may not realize it at the moment, or you might not even have the courage to make a change. So you're going, again, full speed ahead. And then life will come and kind of bop you over the head and say, nope, this isn't the way anymore. And it's because it wants you to get back into your correct flow. It wants you to get back into the place where things are easy, like those green lights, and everything is moving quickly. And it feels like the world is opening up and that God is your butler just opening the doors for you. These kind of abrupt interruptions, these interruption synchronicities come via health issues or companies closing or being fired from a job or a relationship. Initially, it will seem like a really negative thing. And guys, I've been there. But over time, you realize that it was actually a huge blessing because it sent you in the direction of your highest good and greater destiny, higher good. That is what we're all here to do. We're trying to get to that sweet spot. So what I take away from this is that sometimes things have to literally fall apart in order to snap back into a better form. And I think of caterpillars that undergo this like chaotic state in order to shape into something beautiful. It's all part of the process. And if you want to evolve, you have to be in process. You have to do your work. It also makes me think about Carl Jung, who spent 20 years of his life in deep study about this very subject, synchronicity. Think about that, guys. 20 years before he was comfortable publishing his work. Clearly, due to the complexity of this subject, he was hesitant. Maybe he was worried about what his peers would think. How do you really impart this information? I really thought about that. 20 years before he really could get out of this life that he had immersed himself in, which is a surreal world of synchronicity. And I've been just thinking about all the millions of people who have experienced this phenomena. People from all walks of life and all over the world who were without the work of Jung and in the absence of a world-renowned psychiatrist by their side to conceptualize this lofty idea. Does that mean that they didn't experience synchronicity? I don't think so. The indigenous people of America believe strongly that we are to pay attention to the connections and the synchronicity that Mother Earth offers. These deeply, deeply connected people taught that the patterns effervesced from the earth around you, and the only prerequisite is that you be still and tune in. And Terry didn't know we were going to talk about this, but that was one of the things she said right at the beginning. Be still and pay attention to the signs. She also talked about her proclivity to tune into earth and go outside and pay attention to the world around her. And this is what the indigenous people of this great country were aware of well before there was a psychiatrist. The clues were from nature that they were paying attention to. The sky, the wind, They unfolded in cycles of life and death. And we see those cycles around us every day, guys. So we're all privy to this same energy. Dwayne Big Eagle's poem about his grandfather came to my mind as I was trying to lasso this grand idea of synchronicity. And it's something that I kind of happened upon years ago as I was really beginning to study the theory of quantum physics. The name of his poem is "My Grandfather Was a Quantum Physicist." He wrote, "I can see him now, smiling, in full dance costume, in front of the roadhouse on a sunny afternoon. Scientists have finally discovered that the intimate details of our lives are influenced by things beyond the stars and beyond time. My grandfather knew this." You see, I love that poem. It's so simple, but right to the point. We're always aware. We already know. Deep in our souls, we know about the patterning of life. We are tapped into it. We just have to wake up to it. It's wonderful. I mean, honestly, to have academia distill these ideas into theses that we can read, but you do not need to bury yourself in research papers to understand that synchronicity is guiding you and that it is always present at pivotal moments in your life. For Terry, there was a pattern in her family that pointed her in the direction of her soul's desire. And when the moment drew closer, the synchronicities increased. Now, to you and I, okay, the Sesame Street shoelace would mean nothing, okay? We wouldn't probably even notice it. But God, universe, source, so wise and all-knowing, provided her with just the confirmation she needed in that crucial moment of doubt. Should she adopt? Was this a crazy fantasy in her head? Was this something that could become a reality? She asked the question. She told you she asked the question. She said, "I know we're not supposed to ask," which I do not believe, but I'm so glad she did ask, which I told her. You ask, you be bold, and declare what your need or what your want is or what your request is for help, because it's all around us. We have access to it at any moment. And she asked that question, and put before her was something that would mean something only to Terry. It was meaningful only to her, and it helped her go forward in her quest. It's so important that you know this loving gesture is always available to you. I can't stress it enough. Patterns of life are always presenting themselves to you. Your job, and your only job, is to be still and know. Quiet your mind and open your heart to the messages and the miraculous synchronicities that abound, because they do. They are always seeking, synchronicities are always seeking to first awaken us. So wake up, and after we are fully paying attention, we can be easily guided to our spiritual connections. Our destiny begins to unfold in like a series of moments and small steps. But being alert and in a state of expectation when you have big questions about your life will increase the rate at which you attract synchronistic help. It is out there, folks. I personally experience it all the time. I teach my clients how to connect with this flow. But the thing that I love about synchronicity, the thing that I love about God, source, universe, however you intuit it, is that you don't need anyone to walk you through it. You don't need anyone to walk you through it. The indigenous people didn't have a teacher. They might have had chiefs and they had shamans, but they were teaching their children a little bit at a time. This is how you pay attention to the earth. This is how you go on your quest or your sojourn. This is how you figure out that life is always speaking to you, because they knew that they couldn't be there with their children on the mountain when they were in a great hunt. They knew that they had to teach them, if you see that eagle flying overhead or birds gathering, that there is some food that's nearby, and they weren't going to be with them to guide them through that. So they had to teach them how to be aware and to wake up to the synchronicities of life that could lead them to whatever their destiny was for that day. That is so important, being in that state. You don't need anyone to help you, because the magical energy of synchronicity is available to you now, right now. So wake up and be still and tap in. It's waiting for you. And now, guys, we're going to get into a little bit of Gabriel's Gab. I am so excited. I love to see how Gabriel likes to wrap up each of our sessions together. And so I have shuffled a few cards and pulled some things that I think will be helpful to all of us for this week. The first thing that your angels want you to know is that all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, which I love that because it's a great tie-in to synchronicity. There are hidden blessings all around you. And the thing is, soon you will understand. And I really hope that after today's lesson, you understand a little bit more about how those blessings are there and available for us to tap into. All we have to do is what? We have to first wake up and realize it's possible, and then be still and listen up. The next card for you today is about taking back your power. You are supposed to this week use your God-given power and intention, and you need it to manifest the blessings in your life. All of this is about blessings, and I think that synchronicity is a blessing as well. So as you are going along, ho-hum in your daily life, remember to assert yourself and be strong and take back your power. Have you had an encounter with a coworker where maybe you felt like, I didn't say everything I should have said, and you're quarterbacking or Monday morning quarterbacking the concept or the idea of the conversation? This is a time to take back your power. Are you not using your throat chakra and really communicating your needs to your spouse? This is a time to take back your power. We give our power away, and that's something we'll talk about over our time together. But it's very possible to do that, and every once in a while we need a gentle reminder that we are empowered and that we take back the thing that we've given. So this week, as you go along, take back your power. Be assertive, be strong. No need to be aggressive, but stand up for yourself because you are loved and you deserve that. You are worthy of being heard. The next card is about passion. And I love this because Terry started us off talking about her passion for treasure hunting, which has happened in all kinds of ways in her life, and it's really manifested. It's all about this week for you trusting and following your renewed passion in your love life or your career. So I love that card because right after taking back your power, you definitely can get passionate again, because when things come into a balance and there's an equilibrium, it's very important to know that passion comes right after it, and it will fuel you towards the goals that you have. It will fuel you towards better communication. It will make each day of your life, if you're trying to follow a spiritual path, seem like it's not work at all and that you are doing what you're put here to do. It will open you up to that. Passion is the key to opening you up to those synchronicities. So I love that too. And the last thing is just a quick message for you to know that you are gifted. This next deck of cards is one that my best friend sent me, and it's kind of funny because I've always thought that some things can get too woo-woo. Guys, I'm pretty woo-woo, but I thought, hey, there's a little bit further than you can go. And she sent me this beautiful deck of unicorn cards because for some reason in my life, the idea of the unicorn became very prominent in the past year. I can't believe I'm telling you that, but it did. And so she so lovingly sent me this deck and the card that I pull for you today. And it's like the cherry on top of any reading for me sometimes. I don't use them all the time, but it is wonderful. And today it is, you are gifted. It's all about you knowing that you are very intelligent and you are very talented. And as you're waking up to the synchronicities in your life, you may think, is this all a coincidence? Am I really supposed to be doing this? Should I be following this path? Should I be pursuing this new endeavor? Am I smart enough? Am I strong enough? Do I have the patience? Do I have the money? Well, those synchronicities are going to be presented to you. We'll talk about this at another time because of synchronicity. But in all of those wonderings and questions that you have for yourself, it's important for you to remember you've been chosen for the thing you know you're supposed to do. Are you a photographer? Are you an artist? And it's not just relegated for people that are in the arts. Do you want to get that degree in law? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? What is your passion